need to get some rest, but I need your seed.
Why?
Well, to sleep with it.
And as you fall, Enwin is still on his feet. The rest of you fall and break all of the tables inside of the Cheshire Club. To which Bo goes, "Come on!"
Best day ever!
Group, Bo. He would work with the group because he likes Cass, and that would just be really, really awkward on the battlefield.
What?
I don't think that's an awkward. Perfect person to protect Cass. I
Wait,
like
what?
it. Let's go.
I'm still
I
here.
don't need protection.
I'm still here. At the...
I know you are, sweetie.
Chris,
It's okay.
shh. The adults are talking. Shh.
Oh,
One
alright.
second, buddy.
I like it. I'm gonna. What did
Chris
you think
likes
of
Cass?
I like.
Where have you been?
Ibs was a little pretentious.
Abs was
and
my
for
favorite.
me.
I like Bob.
Thanks, Perry.
Alright.
Appreciate it.
Are you gonna leave?
Yeah, the crew needs me.
You go, and I'm gonna stay right here.
Oh my god.
And he nods his head. And he nods his head and walks you over to the door. And sort of opens the door.
Oh man.
There was mouth stuff poison? Oh yeah.
No smell stuff.
That came out wrong, sorry.
Sorry. I could not laugh.
Person has died, Ryan. A little decorum,
Just
please.
due to mouth stuff. Come on. Get over it.
I'll go home
Smack
now.
him across the face. I'm like, wake up.
All right, you smack Ryan across the face. We're set up in these stands or floating above the water. Have never seen a ship cross the finish line, but first. And they all watch as the first thing they see is Monkey C. Written along the side of the ship, crossing and backwards. And you have crossed the finish line. Congratulations, crew. You have won the first high lock race for the briefest of seconds. Let them be. Let them love and hurt and change and tell stories and die fighting and pouring drinks and doing the right thing even though it hurts. Just let them be. We can give them that. What's going on, Indigo Chameleon audience? It's me, your good buddy Scribe, here to remind you of the fun ways that you can interact here on Indigo Chameleon, even when we're not streaming. One, we've got an amazing Discord. Come and hang out with us. We would love to have you there. You can find some inspiration if you need it. There's memes. There's even like fun ways for you to be like the first ones to know when we're looking for players for a remote one-shot or a one-shot located here at Indigo Chameleon Studios. So please come and hang out with us on the Discord. We would love to have you. We also have a merch store. Yeah, it's a chance for you, the dear viewer, to help us represent the brand a little bit. There's t-shirts, there's mugs, there's prints, there's shower curtains. So I hear one day you will be mine, shower curtain. So yeah, thank you so much for all your support. And as always, there's always a spot here at the table for you. You are the 7th player at this spot. You can use stream points by clicking that little karma right at the bottom of your screen, right where the chat is, one of those sides. You can do that and earn stream points. Every time you tune in, you help us raid, you spread the word, donate bits. That, well, I don't know about spreading the word, it'd be hard to track that, but all of those other things will help you earn stream points that you can use to help your players when they need it the most. Thank you all so much for all your support. Indigo Connect, and hey,
Sit back, dear friends, and hear the tale, when fairies flew and ships did sail. You know the stories often told, of Peter Pan, both brave and bold, of Tinker Bell, clever and smart, of evil men born black of heart, adventure and treasure buried in sand, time held its breath in Neverland. But darkness fell, on the island fair. A sickness rose of no compare. Each creature and plant fell one by one. No respite found for anyone. So the island died, its people scattered. Those left behind, broken and battered. Years went by, no end in sight. Then through the darkness came new light. The island breathes and life returns. Within our heroes a fire burns. The drive to find those who are lost. To build a home at any cost. Join pixies, skeletons, a mermaid or two. Healers, never boys, and lost boys too. They're here each week, new stories told. So pull up a chair and never grow old.
Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Indigo Chameleon. It's Sunday night. We don't have anything to do, so what are we doing? We're hanging out. We're playing some Dungeons and Dragons. We've got a few announcements before we kick off with tonight's game. First off, I'd like to welcome back for the one-shot part 2 for our amazing game. The players surprised me. And we took some twists and turns, and I was like, oh, well, cool. This will be my first mini arc as a dungeon master. I've done one-shots, I've done like long campaigns, but I've never done just a little mini arc. So thank you guys for coming back. I really, really, really appreciate it. So as those announcements said, we have a Discord. Come and hang out with us in the Discord. We'd love to have you there, and there's all sorts of stuff, from inspiration channels to meme channels to, for any of you aspiring players or dungeon masters, we have a whole channel dedicated to homebrewing magical items and creatures, so you can use in your own campaigns, so it's a lot of fun. We also have a character channel where you can find NPCs and sometimes broken character builds that people just ponder. So it's a lot of fun. Come and hang out with us. We'd love to have you there. We also have a merch store if you want to come and hang out in the merch store and buy stuff that has our cool Karma logo on it. Upcoming schedule for this week. Tonight is Sunday. We don't have anything going on. Tomorrow night, Monday we're usually off, but Tuesday we go back to Wonderland. Our good buddy Magnoth is in that game as well. He's part of the main cast over there. And in the last game, Indigo Chameleon made a pact with Mab, the Queen of Air and Darkness, and disappeared. And Mab came back looking exactly like her. So the party thinks that nothing has happened, but Mab has infiltrated the party and has just assumed her visage. So I'm sure that'll work out great. So that's on Tuesday night. It'll be fine. On Thursday night, we go to the Lost Isle. The Lost Isle is another campaign that we do here that's a mixture of sci-fi and D&D. It kind of mixes my love of historical fiction. The group currently is in the late 1800s during the current wars. With Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison, and Tesla has just sort of dipped his feet into the waters of the paranormal research that he did, and so he's going to accidentally open up a portal to a different plane. So the heroes are going to deal with that. So that's on Thursday. On Friday night, we go to Neverland for the campaign that's set in there as they continue to fight against the mimics, or the mother of all mimics, who is establishing a dominance over Neverland. But that's what's going on in that corner of Neverland. We're also going to have, hopefully, a guest appearance by a lost friend on this Friday's episode. Maybe we can swing that. And then that's everything that's going on there. Oh, so the chat, we're starting things off right. Hi, chat, welcome. Legend Hillary, Real Zuli. Legend Hillary has actually given a +5 to Cassandra. So Cassandra, anytime tonight you have a roll and you need that little extra boost, Hillary bought you a +5 with her stream points. So that's really sweet. 12 for 10 cents. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And everybody's super stoked that there's a kitty on cam as well. And one from Magnoth, because she loves and misses Cassandra, and she loves and misses you as well. So you get a +5 as well. So I think that's it for announcements for upcoming schedule. Do you guys have anything going on you want to plug? Podcast, shows, anything streamed?
I would just like everyone to take 10 seconds and look at me.
I can't see anyone's.
Ruined it. That's it. I have to go. I can't be here anymore. Like this.
Feeling a little attacked right now.
Yeah, no, not right now.
Hey, you don't have to plug anything. You're here right now. I'm here to plug your awesomeness.
You know what? I'd like to plug this show right now. We're gonna do this show. It's tonight. If you're not watching, you're missing out.
Which is weird because they would have to be watching to hear that message, but I appreciate where your heart is. But
it's like a plug of plugs. It's like an inside plug. You know, like inside jokes. It's an inside plug.
I'm into it. When last we left the Archimedes 5, they had come into a pirate town, and after a very civil conversation with the mayor of the town, where it was the paragon of politeness and courtesy, the mayor, in all of his understanding, divulged all information and really all goods he had in his possession to the team in order to help them with their quest. If you haven't watched that first episode, it is on Twitch, and I would highly recommend you watch it just to see the masterful way that this man was played in terms of conversation and divulging information. The group is discovering they are working in a small pirate town to discover what has befallen the town. People are afraid to go out in the evenings. There's been a rash of deaths and burglaries. Through some clever sleuthing, they've discovered, and after talking with the local alchemist, does anybody remember his name?
Wait.
Nayana.
Navana?
There it is.
Aganza.
I had Nagando Senpai written down, and I'm pretty sure that's wrong.
Senpai alchemist. After speaking with the local alchemist, he divulged some information about some of the materials that have been stolen from the town, including brimstone and salt. Consulting an ancient text, the group was able to determine that there was a mythological creature that was a golem of sorts that was able to channel some of these materials as spell components and utilize. Someone being able to control this golem would have a great deal of power because they'd be able to send it out. However, the alchemist warned the group that such an individual would have to have incredible willpower because it is a true test of mind to be able to control a being of that size and of that magical prowess. The group tracked down a couple of other leads, finding themselves not too far away from the town center, where there was a group of pirates that were holding the town hostage for any sort of time that the townspeople needed to get water from the well. There was a battle that was planned, but due to some even more clever thinking and some great choices by the group, a good portion of that battle was somehow cut short due to some maneuverings and the group killing the pirates killing some of their own members in a barrage of musket fire. We're going to pick up right now exactly where that episode left off, where Mannheim, you're going back in to the bar. And
I'm going to find a nice spot to curl up in and just relax and rest.
I only ask this because you are a tabaxi. Are you literally like curling up, or is this just
No, I'm curled up in a corner.
Okay, great. So Mannheim, you're establishing yourself in a little corner. Elog and Arashi, you are at the bar. Elog, you're drinking water. That's sensible. That's good. And Arashi, you are also at the bar as well. While Carlon and Takashi, you're chasing after some of the figures that ran off. Correct?
Yeah. So I'm gonna run behind Carlon obviously way behind because he's super fast. So, but I'm gonna trail him and chase the same guy.
Carlon, I must have misheard when I rewatched the episode because you listed your movement speed, and I must have had like a mini like stroke or something. What is your movement speed?
If I burn a key point, I can go 165 feet a turn.
I was gonna say miles per hour.
Wow. Per turn?
Per turn.
Okay.
55 for movement, 55 for dash is 110, plus another 55 for step of the wind is 165.
That tracks. Okay. Okay.
I also fly if I need to, so it's totally
sure. Why not? Yes. So.
What's your fly speed?
My walking speed, so
okay.
55 a turn if I need it.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this. You guys have traveled together and worked together long enough that you are used to Carlon taking off at crazy speeds, such as to make a DM weep. But you are slowly following behind him and kind of going at a normal pace. Hey, Alcaboose Bender, thank you. Subscribing for 13 months. That's great. Thank you. So, Carlon, I'm going to give you your pick of the litter. The pirates have scattered all different directions, running down particular alleyways and things of that sort. If the two of you want to split and see what you can do, otherwise, you're going to have your pick of the litter. They're all different races, all different types of individual. If you're looking for an individual above any other, if you want to just make it a random roll of the dice.
I'm looking for the closest one. I don't care who.
Okay.
They went, we need to stop them. I went, got it.
Okay. There's one about 65 feet away. Looks a little shorter in stature. You don't know if it's just a short human or like maybe a dwarven gentleman or some sort. You can see them from the back, and those little legs are a pumping. Talk, I'll say that you're following close behind, and you're going to be able to burn.
I guess I'll look and see which one appears to be the leader or the. Can I take a?
So a funny story. The leader is still there in front of you.
Is he dead?
Yeah, he's very, very much dead.
Very, very dead.
On the ground, sort of face down in front of you. Muscles once rippling are just, he's just face down in the dirt.
So yeah, they all look like they're the same rank or whatever. It's not like that. I guess I'll just take a shot at another one.
Okay. Yeah.
Take a couple of shots.
Are you going to take one at the one that Carlin's going after? I would say that even moving as fast as he is, you see him sort of swooping down towards a smaller individual whose little legs are pumping.
No, I'll go after another one.
Okay. Yeah. Off to the left, there's a human who looks a little heavy around the midsection. And he's strapped with two short swords at his side, but he's not running as fast as his compatriots. So if you want to give me an attack roll, Takashi.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot a couple of arrows at his butt.
Okay.
15 plus 8, so 23 and 13.
Okay, 23 and 13. The 13's not going to hit, but the 23 is going to hit. Carlon, what is your plan here? Like, you've spotted him, and you're definitely faster. Are we just interposing ourselves in front of them? Are we?
Oh, I was gonna stunning strike and start dragging him back.
Okay, give me an attack roll, please.
My arrow did 13 damage.
13 damage. Okay. Okay. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say you shoot this guy right in the butt. Nice. I think he's running, and I think it's a broad target to hit. I think you hit him, and he just kind of he immediately falls face first, trying to reach back behind him to grab at this arrow that is now protruding from his butt.
All right. Yeah, and then I'm gonna head toward him and say freeze with my arrows drawn.
Okay. Give me an intimidation check. Carlon, what was your attack?
First one was going to be a 10, so we're going to take that second attack.
Take that second attack.
That one is also a 10.
Both of the 10s are going to miss. as you sort of poof, poof, and you're a little winded from running faster than any human should run. But you have a bonus action if you would like to take a couple of bonus action.
Sure, we'll do that too.
Okay.
An 11.
Carlin, it's a boo, boo, boo. And he just kind of like his eyebrow raises, and he's going to stand there and he's going to draw out what looks to be a large axe from his side. And I think the surprise round is over. We may have to get into an initiative situation as your attacks have landed on nothing. Takashi, what's your intimidation roll, pal?
I rolled a 19 plus 3, so 22.
Oh, God. Yeah, he's sufficiently intimidated. He's going to roll over on his side so as not to land on the arrow and just kind of put both hands up. But he's laying on the ground.
All right.
Carlon, let's do this. We're going to roll initiative, you and me. And we're gonna justify what happens here.
All right. That's gonna be 4 for initiative.
Those low rolls are more fun sometimes.
Sometimes they are.
He's gonna go first.
Weird.
That's surprising.
And he's super worried. He's gonna make an attack roll. Oh, yeah, boy. That is going to be a 25 to hit.
Just barely.
Cool.
That axe is going to come around his side, and it's going to slam into you, and it is going to do 10 points of piercing damage.
All right.
Respectable hit. And as that happens, he's going to... what's he gonna do? He's gonna run. He still thinks he's outnumbered here, and he's trying to get away, and he's hoping that the axe hit will sway you to stop going after him. You gonna take an attack of opportunity?
Yeah. Let's do that.
All right. He's gonna take off running.
That's gonna be a 22 to hit.
Yeah, you should have done that the first time. That would have
You're
hit
not wrong.
the first time. Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Give me an attack roll, a damage roll.
8.
8. As using your fist here, is this just a punch to the? As he runs, it's a poof. Do you have sentinel or anything along those lines?
I do not.
Okay.
Why would I take that?
It's okay. He keeps running. He takes that punch to the side, and then just keeps like moving forward. And you see Takashi has someone on the ground with arrows drawn, pointed at him, and the person is whimpering and holding up hands.
All right. Well, then, seeing that he's got this under control, I'm just gonna go back over to that one and be like, yeah, I let mine get away. you had this. I let mine go. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
I grab my little chubby friend and by the hair and lift him up and have his weapon stripped from him.
Oh God!
And push him into the tavern. I'm gonna embarrass him too. Yeah.
Okay.
My
So
long bugbear arms. Just
Takashi brings you guys a present. A few minutes go by, and he brings you the best present you could possibly ask for. It is a sweaty, nervous pirate who is being held up unceremoniously by his large bugbear arms, and the person is sweating. Like I said, he's a little middle-aged. He had weapons, but no longer on his person. But he is wearing the signature necklace that you've come to associate with this particular group of pirates.
I got a Mooney.
Ooh, that was.
We had like a truck go through somebody's house. Yeah, no, those. Takashi comes in with holding up the Mooney in his hands. As he does this, the rest of the bar patrons leave. If all of the stuff before wasn't enough to get them to go, as he comes in holding this man who's sort of whimpering, the rest of the bar patrons leave. The only one that stays behind is the dog-like bartender, who's just polishing glasses. Like, I didn't see anything. I know nothing. I don't see anything. I don't hear anything. Like, and he just stays behind the bar.
Tak is gonna drop him and say, "Watch him," and go outside and search the body of the dead leader.
Who's watching the guy on the floor?
So Arashi is going to kind of jump off the bar stool and land on his chest and kind of sit on his chest and just stare at him with big eyes.
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, he
Clark just kind of turns around, looks at everybody, goes back to drinking his water.
So Arashi's sitting there and just like eyes wide. He's definitely terrified of this situation.
Just smiling.
Tak, as you're like smiling down at him, you see the bird is also slightly tilting his head to kind of help you with that intimidation. Like the head's just like slowly revolving like around all the way around, and like he's just like, oh my god. Tak, give me an investigation check because you're gonna go check on the body of the guy outside.
16 minus 1, 15.
15. Okay. He doesn't have a lot on him. This is a guy that was kind of built. He's not holding a whole bunch of weapons or anything like that. You find a gold pouch with about 7 gold on his person, but you don't really notice anything else in particular on his person. He's still got the necklace on as well. But after a preliminary search, that's kind of all you find. Is you find like the 7 gold and the necklace on him. If you're looking for anything else, like
I take the 7 gold and I toss it to somebody who's walking out of the bar and walk back in.
Somebody has the best day of their life. Like you just handed somebody like 700, and they're like, here, and it's probably more gold than they've ever seen and in a day, and they're like. I'll say this because it's we'll do that scene, that Mean Joe Green, as he takes the jersey off and he goes, here you go. He throws it to a random kid that's walking by and he's like, thanks, mister. And he takes the gold and runs off. All right. Cool. Back in the bar. Arashi, you are sitting on the chest of a pirate in the middle of the bar.
Just sitting on his chest, staring down at him, not saying anything because I don't know what I'm supposed to do with him other than I'm supposed to keep him there. So she's very one shot.
I don't really know nothing about nothing. It's
all right. If nobody else is gonna ask anything when Tak gets back in, I'm gonna say, listen here. I don't care about you. Okay. I don't care if you live or die. You're welcome to live today, though.
Okay.
All you have to do is tell me about the robberies. What you know about the robberies that have been happening? Is somebody paying your gang to do it?
Give me an intimidation check. I'm gonna
assist in it?
I'm gonna say with Arashi, how do you assist him in this intimidation check? What do you do to this poor man as you sit on his chest and begins to keep talking to him?
I think I'm probably going to use.
You should not look this happy about how you're going to terrify this poor man.
I'm going to use Druidcraft.
Okay.
To make it look like there is ice spreading from down me towards him.
Okay. Yes. So take this intimidation check at advantage, please, as the ice slowly begins to creep forward.
19.
19. He looks at you and he goes, He's obviously freaking out a little bit. He's almost hyperventilating. But as the ice creeps closer to him, it chills him both physically and mentally. As he kind of like gets back together, and he goes, "We took advantage of the situation. Not all the robberies were that thing. I mean, we hit a couple of houses. Just we figured it'd be like accounted for the whatever else is happening right now."
What do you know about your friends who had their brains sucked out?
We didn't know nothing. We didn't do any of that. But we got orders. Nobody goes out by themselves anymore. You got to go in pairs, and we don't know what was happening.
They've got the buddy system. Smart. Okay.
Is it because you are creeping out at night when everybody else is in?
He looks at you and he goes, "I mean, just a few times. We thought we'd take it."
You have any idea what time these happened?
It was late. Most of the towns are asleep or at rest. I mean, the only one out is us and you know, the thing.
Right before dawn, a couple of hours before dawn.
Yeah. There's some weird thing. Some of the men talked about it.
Have you seen the thing before?
It's like, I don't know, it's normal height for a person, and he's walking along the road, and then all of a sudden he takes off to the sky.
Okay, he can fly now. This is great. Good for us. Love this for us. Okay.
But somebody said that they saw him over a body. That was the one that was killing the pirates.
Do you know anything that this individual was wearing? What the height, maybe?
I mean, there's all these different accounts. Like, one of them said he was like average height, and another one said he was like your height. He's real big. But the only thing that they say is like he looks normal, and then he's got wings. Like, he didn't have them before. His back gets real big.
Does your captain know anything about this? Where's your captain? I think we should talk to someone else a little smarter than you.
He looks outside to the.
I think I might have. Yeah, we might have killed that guy.
Oh, did we kill the captain? Oh, yikes. Okay.
The big guy talking for the crew? Yeah, that was the captain.
Oh,
Is there a first mate?
Elog, do you say that?
Yes. Is there a first mate?
He kind of looks over at you, and he looks over at Arashi and Talk, as almost as to say, it's the guy drinking water with you guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
You can answer him.
Yeah, we got. There's a first mate. You're looking for locks.
Looks.
They'll be at the safe house by now, but
Okay, where's the safe house?
it's not too far from here. We actually have a ship in the harbor that we use for the safe house. I mean, you guys can absolutely go and talk to him. I'm going to turn my life around, I think. I think we'll go into missionary work, just helping out poor orphans and give them puppies.
Plant some trees.
Plant trees for orphans. You know.
Good. Ashley will take us over there. Let's go. She's going to stand up and hike him up.
How tall are you, Arashi?
5 foot nothing.
5 foot nothing? So you're going to say, let's go. Give me a strength check, Arashi.
Oh, no. Not my strongest suit. Okay. I got a -1 in strength, so that is a 16.
You don't know how it's possible that this little 5 foot nothing manages to lift this 200 plus man up to his feet. But sure enough, she goes, "Okay, let's go." And she drags him up by his shirt, and he steps up, and he puts a hand up, and he says, "Oh, I thought you said you were gonna let me leave."
Oh, we are. You're just going to lead us over
Yeah,
there.
but here's the thing: if I walk you to the ship, I will not be living anymore. So it will be very obvious as I walk up that I'm the one that led you to. I can give you detailed directions. If anyone has paper and maybe some crayons, I'd be happy to draw.
At that time, I put the water down, and I just kind of walk towards him, and I look into his face, and I said, "You are going to take us there. Any questions?"
No, I think I'm fine. I will take you to the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice guy. Okay.
I think if he acts honorably and takes us to the ship, we should let him leave before we expose his identity to the other pirates.
This is a good idea. Okay.
Could one of you, once we get to the ship, could you punch me in the face?
I'd be happy to. No, yes.
Could anybody but the bugbear punch me in the face? Like anyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
He punches harder than me, just so you know.
Oh God. All right. Yeah, I'll take you there.
Okay, here we go. He's still holding onto his shirt, like holding up and just drags him off.
My favorite image is you holding the shirt and him standing up and your feet dangling just a little bit, like as you keep holding on to the shirt. But he sort of stoops and you lead him out of the bar, Arashi.
Very
the weirdest Mardi Gras parade anyone has ever seen. As you walk out of the bar. He leads you past where all the shops are, past the fountain, which is at the central point of the town, and leads you down a sort of rocky cliff side where you see a bunch of ships all lined up along the cliffside. There is a harbor master that seems to be collecting money from people to set up when the ships come into dock. There's also quite a few wagons, as they seem, as the mayor explained to you guys, this is a port town of sorts. So there's always sort of ships coming in. It looks like there's space for quite a few of them, but times are a little tight. People are afraid to come here. So right now there's about 5 ships that you guys can see. I'll say this. Everybody give me a perception check.
Ooh, no, I'm good at that. Ooh, nat 20.
Nat 20.
Yes. So with a nat 20 perception, that's a 25.
I'll say this. Anybody above a 17 and above, you notice that there are these 5 ships all lined up alongside the dock, okay? But a little ways down from these ships looks to be a decommissioned warship, okay? It's functional, but it doesn't look very seaworthy. Like there are no sails aboard this ship. Does that make sense? The thing is loaded for bear with cannons, but it doesn't look like it's mobile. And as you get closer and closer and walking along, you see this individual sort of being led by Arashi. And as he gets to where the harbor master is, before he gets there, he goes, down there, the big one, all the cannons and things of that sort. That's the ship. That's where Lox is going to be.
Not very good pirates if your ship can't even sail, but okay.
I mean, times are hard. You know, a lot of us get seasick, and it's just hard work being a pirate when a lot of you get seasick. So we've.
No, I get it. It's okay. It's okay. No need to explain yourself.
That's what I'm gonna. Yes, please. Somebody punch me.
No hesitation. As soon as he says yes, wham!
Carla, give me a punch at advantage as you wind up and punch the crap out of this guy.
That's 22.
That's gonna hit, dude. Roll some damage for me.
7 points.
7 points. Yeah, Carlon's like, as soon as he's like, punch me, and Arashi, you just kind of like tilt him a little bit, and Carlon waves and bam, punches right. You hear the crack of his nose breaking as blood starts like pouring down his face a little bit, and he just goes, oh god, and like grabs his face, and thank you for getting that reference, Magna. As he falls to the ground and just starts cupping his face and just like blood pouring down his hands, he gets up and he starts climbing the steps back up to the town proper. But
Arashi like, give him a little punch on the arm as he goes by. Just, yeah. Take that. There you go.
What is your strength? You're a -1 to strength?
Yes.
All right, so you punch him in the arm, and it actually, if you have a -1 to strength, you
The 0.
yeah, you reset a vertebrae that was a little out of alignment. Like you actually like pop his arm back into place.
I mean, I'm a druid. I'm a good person.
You're-
I fixed him.
You're like, take this, bye.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Don't forget, Arashi did this for you.
No, you seem like a nice guy.
All right.
Yeah, I like.
So
Reminds me
heroes,
of my friend Cuddle.
Cuddle's pretty great. You are close to the dock. The harbor master is giving you guys some odd looks. The harbor master is what looks to be a seasoned older elven woman. Her hair's pulled back in a big like a bun on the back of her head. She's got wisp of gray in her hair, tan skin, but smile lines on her face. But as you punch the pirate and he sort of stumbles off, she's just looking at you standing at a little like booth that's at the front of the harbor.
Arashi's gonna walk right on towards the ship. Come on, let's go. Very confidently, 5-0.
Yeah, she nods. She nods. You guys are just headed towards the ship.
Yeah,
Yep.
as we walk by, I'm just going to say, good afternoon, dear.
Afternoon.
And we just keep walking.
Yeah, you guys cut a mean picture. I don't think she's gonna stop you. She's like, I don't see nothing. Man, we ain't found shit. As you guys keep walking down. Okay, so gang, like I said, this is a decommissioned warship. You go past the 5 ships that are in dock, and you see people unloading bits of cargo and stuff like that, and giving you some odd looks as you walk past all of these people. And actually, the wooden dock stops a little bit, and you have to walk into the sand proper. As you're walking in the sand and making your way closer and closer to this warship, there is a flurry of activity aboard the ship. As you see men running about, you see a few men that are shouting and giving some orders, and one individual who you assume to be Lox, which is a goblin. This little goblin is on. He is now wearing a captain's hat, but he stands aboard the deck of the ship. But I say stand. He's piggybacking on top of another individual. So he's up on their shoulders and just sort of looking at you as you guys make your way closer and closer to the ship.
Takashi says in Goblin, "Hey, little man, you need to come down here and speak with us for a minute."
Big talk calling me little man when I've got cannons.
Wow, I love him.
Try it again.
What my friend meant to say
Arashi,
was...
do you speak Goblin?
Nope, but she's talking.
Okay, so you heard Tok speaking in his language, and he answered back, and then he goes, then Arashi, you're a little ways off, and what do you shout out?
Ahoy?
I say, we are not here for trouble. We just need to talk to you.
Really? You're not here for trouble? So it wasn't you that killed our captain not moments ago?
Your guys fired on your own guy. We got caught up in a thing that was not meant for us.
Did you idiots fire upon your own, like crew? And you see the guy that he's on top of, like nod his head, and he just smacks the dude in the forehead, and he goes, I extend to you a parlay. No violence will be extended for you while you are aboard my ship. But know this, should you choose to act violently towards me, I reserve the right to kill you all and throw your bodies overboard.
Sounds like
Arashi's gonna lean over and go, what did he say?
he says we can come aboard.
Okay.
I'll say from here on in, ever since the ahoy, it's all in common.
Okay.
Specific. Yeah.
Elog was going to say in Goblin, you can try to kill us. You may not succeed.
Well, then I'll certainly try.
Come on, boys, let's go. Walks very confidently up the gangplank.
We're going on? Sweet! And just like races on, and it's like first one up, and it's just like leaned over waiting. What's up, guys?
So you meet the newly christened Captain Locks. Captain Locks is flanked by about 15 or 16 other men that are. How about this? Give me an insight check. If you're as you all come aboard the ship, and you're looking at these men.
19.
19.
11.
20. Unnatural 20.
Unnatural.
22.
17.
Okay, so everybody but Carlon, who is just like excited, he's like a little kid that's like, "Can we go to the video game store?" Yep. And just runs in and just stands there. The rest of you, as you come aboard the ship, you hear these little whispers, and you see the men all standing there trying to look tough, but they're terrified. The captain is at the end of this row of about 15 or 16 other individuals. But Elog, Mannheim, Tak, and Arashi, you're hearing little whispers that amount to the cat was 8 feet tall. He's got sharp claws, but he also knows demonic magic. And like, there's a guy that just drinks water. We don't know what he does, but he just drinks water. Like there's like they're all whispering this tell of this group, and it's like the other one, you blink and he's somewhere else, and the little one, we don't know what the little one does, but she's terrifying, and she's got an owl, and it's gonna eat your eyes. Like they're all whispering these little things as you walk aboard the ship.
As we walk up, I'm going to smile at some of the closer ones, baring my teeth to them, as I like bring one claw at a time and clean off my claws.
Hang on, I gotta make Constitution checks. Yep, with a nat 1, 2 of them managed to like stay their bearing. The third one pretty obviously pees himself. Like it's a little bit of pee. Like it's just enough to show that he does not want to be here. He is not a cat person. He does not want to be here.
As everybody else is walking towards, I just kind of walk towards the pirates and stroll behind them.
Okay.
And just kind of just look. Don't say anything.
The only one who looks any sort of confident right now is Locks, the goblin, who is off the shoulders of the other pirate and is standing there. Locks is wearing the traditional uniform that you saw before, the pants. He is not wearing a necklace as compared to the other pirates. Instead, he has a large half, like the crescent moon, but it's tattooed on his chest. And you can see that the tattoo is such that it looks to be made out of gem dust that he has magically put into his chest. Any of you that have a proficiency in Arcana can give me a roll, but the rest of you, it's just, oh, it's really pretty, it's sparkly. But if you have a proficiency in Arcana, you're welcome to take a look at that.
I have a +6 in Arcana.
Yeah, Elog, give me a roll.
I'll say I only have a +1. I haven't really studied it, but I would find it interesting.
Yeah. What did you get, Elog?
I rolled a 13.
13. You've heard of magical tattoos that depending on what kind of gem dust you use can augment a person permanently. think of like a magic spell. It takes a lot of pain and it takes a lot of money because you're actually imbuing your body with like the value of the gem itself plus the time it takes. And you, with a 13, you're not sure what this is, but whatever the symbol is, it's augmented the goblin in some sort of way. Okay. As you guys come forward, Arashi, you're the first person that he walks toward because he's somewhat he's shorter than you. But as he comes forward, he lifts a hand for your hand.
She's gonna high five it.
Well,
that is a nice hat. Can I have it?
You want my hat?
I do want your hat. Can I have your hat, please?
No, this is the captain's hat.
She's gonna look back to Bugbear Boy. Hey, I like his hat, and he doesn't want to give me his hat. What do I do in this social situation? No, I'm not so good at social.
My friend, we are not here for hats.
I'm under the wrong impression, Nana.
I turn to the captain and say, Captain Locks, there was a misunderstanding earlier that unfortunately cost your previous captain his life.
It's no great loss. I got a promotion today.
Well, that is wonderful for you. We are not here for you.
Sure.
We are here to catch the thing that has been sucking the brains out of your men.
I see.
So we need to know what you can tell me about the robberies and where those goods are going.
Takashi, give me a persuasion check.
Not my strong suit. 5.
It's 5. He kind of looks at you for a second and he laughs and he goes, it's big talk to say that you're here to solve a problem. This seems very beneficial to me. You want to stop me and my men from dying, and I want to assist you. But what reassurances do I have that you're not going to go, I don't know, kill the whole crew after you get the information that you seek?
Did I kill any of your men or just the captain who foolishly stepped in my way?
You killed one of my men.
I didn't kill them.
Technically, my men killed that one, but you say tomato, I also say tomato because you killed my man.
We were not trying to be lethal with your man. It was your captain who stepped up, fired upon us, and I took precautions.
How about this? I'll share what information that we owe. I'll have all of the information that I have on my person shared with all of you, but in return, I seek no retribution from this group. No matter what you learn, no matter what you discover after I bear the workings of this crew to you, I want no physical harm to befall any of them, including myself.
We might be able to make this deal, but only with the assurance that you would not commit further crime in this town, that you will not extort money from people for water, that you will not rob more buildings in this town.
And that you give me your hat.
Keep it to the visitors and travelers, friend.
Can we hit the mayor's house?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
All right.
Yes, get in there.
Actually, please do that. In fact.
We
already took everything, but
well, the paintings are still there. I do
does
kind
have
of want
those very, very nice paintings.
He
Oh, we should go back.
he spits in his hand and holds his hand out.
Tuck gives a giant glob of bugbear spit into his giant maw and suffocates his little hand in slaughter.
It is like a water balloon of spit has engulfed this poor goblin's hand. And he looks down at it and like shakes his hand like this, and he goes, "We have an accord. Fine, we leave the town alone. You will not seek to harm us." And he pulls you over, and I'll give you the hat.
Yes.
He leads you to a captain's quarters, a little bit past where you all are standing. As you come into the room, there's a table laid out. There's some fruit, what looks to be a pitcher with wine in it, and he sits down in a chair that's far too large for his person.
Will I also fit in that chair?
What was that, Arashi?
Will I also fit in the chair with him?
You could very easily fit in this chair with him.
I'm gonna sit in the chair with him and put on his hat and squish him against the side.
Do you guys remember that kid show where the little kid, like the little person sat in like the red chair and it was like way too large for them? This is Arashi and Locke sitting in the chair as they share this space. She goes, Locke turns to you all and says, "Thank you, Legend Hillary, for the bits. That was very sweet." Big comfy couch. Yes, thank you. Sits in the chair and he looks at you and he goes, "We weren't just hoarding the water. The reason we set ourselves up around the well was because we had tracked that thing to the well. Whenever it entered into the town, it wasn't coming in from outside. It was coming in from underneath. So
it was coming
out of the well?
It was coming out of the well.
Oh, okay. Close up the well. Problem solved.
You could very easily do that. It would be cutting off the water to the rest of the town, but you could very easily do that.
So, okay. We good here? Or
well, we can't deny them a water supply.
What else do you know about what else do you know about the creature that comes out?
I mean, the men talk. I'm a little bit smarter than our previous captain, so I never left the ship.
And
I will say this. We robbed a couple of other places when the robbery started because we saw the opportunity to blame this big bad creature that was stealing things from other people and have it chalked up to that.
She pinches him.
So you were stealing the salts and the brimstone.
No, that wasn't us. The valuables. Any gold that was taken, any of that stuff. There's a couple of people that reported some jewels. We've got a sack of diamonds from one of the more affluent houses. It's the thing that's been driving people crazy is that you never know what they're going to hit, whether it's mundane items or whether it's expensive. Anything expensive, you can guarantee that was us. Anything weird, it was the cloak guy.
She pinches him again.
What is with the pinching? Ow, stop.
Every time you say you do a bad deed, you get pinched. I don't make the rules.
He kind of looks over at you and he's just like, nah. Any other questions?
What about down the well? Tell me, is the where does the well lead? Is there an underground aquifer?
Oh, you wanted us, the thing that it was killing, to actually go down into the well where the thing was that was killing us. Like, you thought that would be a good idea. Like, do I look like...
I was wondering if before this creature started coming out, if you knew, if you had seen down there, if you could see anything.
I'm not an architect. I'm not a well guy. Like, I have no idea what's down there. If you want to do that, talk to one of the town, like, historians or something like that. I mean, there's rumors that this place was built on top of like a temple of sorts. But there's no way I'm exploring that because I don't want to die. The goblin is the first one to die. We are called fodder.
Is he wearing red?
And is he wearing red? No, he is not wearing red.
You'll be fine.
God, you frighten me. But you could probably do a little bit of digging.
What can you tell us about this cloaked figure?
The reports vary. One moment he's human size. The next one he's 7 feet tall with large wings. There was another person who swore that he was a mechanical man, that he wasn't even real, that he had kegs, beer kegs, that he was carrying like this.
Who told you that one?
One of the men? I think it was Jenkins.
Jenkins, got it.
Speak to Jenkins.
Yeah, you want me to call him in?
Send him into my office, yes.
Yeah, the goblin looks at you and he's like, if you ever wanted to be a pirate, please come to me first. I think you have a good mind for it.
Oh, yes, I am the captain now, so.
Okay. He sticks his head out the door and he goes, Jenkins, get in here. And with that, you see it's kind of a younger kid. He's got pockmarked skin, and he's got scraggly brown hair. The kid looks like he can't be more than like 17 or 18 years old. But he comes into the space and his head is down and he's like, Jenkins, tell him what you told me, the thing you saw walking around the streets. And he looks up and he goes, I was walking late at night and it looked like a man, but he looked like that one. And he points over at Takashi. He was big like that one, but his skin was glowing in the moonlight. And he had like beer kegs on the top of his shoulders. And when I looked at him, he turned to look at me and his eyes were all red and glowy. And I just ran because I didn't want to lose my brain.
Where was this?
He goes, it wasn't too far away from the well.
What time?
It was late. The inn was closing. He just said last call, and I thought he was walking towards the water, like he was gonna get in.
Did you see him get into the water, or?
No, ma'am. I ran as fast as I could.
Oh, don't call me ma'am. Call me captain.
He looks over at the captain, and the captain rolls his eyes and nods his head. He's like, yes, Captain. The water, just walked in the water.
Got it. Thank you. You're dismissed, Jenkins. Unless anyone else has any more questions?
By water, do you mean the well?
Yeah.
Or... Okay.
He looks over at the other captain, and the captain just gives an imperceptible nod of his head. And he goes, thank you, Captain. Both Captain. Thank you. I'm going to go. And walks out the... Lox sits there, looks at you all, and sort of crosses his arms in front of him.
Let's say I thank you for cooperating, and congratulations on being a new captain. I hope you will act with honor in this position, and should you not, you might see us again in an unhappy light. Otherwise, until then, we are friends.
Until then, I look forward to it.
And I walk over to him, and I kind of lean in his face, and I say in Goblin, please do go back to your ways. I would love to visit you again. And I smile and I walk out.
He smiles back. He returns the smile, and as he does, you see him. He's sitting next to Arashi. Elog, you're pretty tall, right?
Yes.
Tak and Arashi and Elog, give me perception checks. He's gonna block your view, Mannheim and Carlon, and so you're not gonna get a full glimpse at this little guy as he returns the smile to Elog.
22.
18. You guys all see this. As Elog says something to him in Goblin, Takashi, you understand what he says. Like, please go back on your word. Like, I want to be the one to take you out. For a brief second, that tattoo glimmers, and he goes ethereal. The only thing you see is the sparkle of the tattoo, and Arashi, you're right next to him, and you see like the kind of ghost outline, and you hear him speak to you in this sort of ethereal place. If I kill you, you won't see it coming. And
I go,
yeah, good.
I say, try me. I would love for it.
He comes back out. The little goblin smiles at the rest of the group, and he goes, that's right. And he takes his hat off, and he hands it over to you, Arashi.
Thank you very much. By the way, what was that?
Oh, that's just a little thing I can do.
What is this thing you can do?
It's a neat trick.
Yeah, let's just call it a trick.
Do you have like two personalities? Do you
Because a question outside of because he did it in front of Elog, and I and I saw it. Do I remember history check? Do I remember what that entails?
Sure. I would say so. Rashi's got a weird look, and you guys can kind of pick up that he just did something, like he kind of utilized whatever sort of magic was in that tattoo. You can give me a history or arcana, whichever one is higher.
Both of them are
nice. It's a spicy 4.
A spicy 4. Look at that spicy 4.
Spicy.
What did you get, Elon?
26.
26. He just flipped over into a different plane. You are familiar with the spell Etherealness, where you can be of this world and see what is going on here, but not be technically in it. And so this little goblin, through whatever means he was able to, has found a way to walk the ethereal plane and come back to this one. But
we're not able to see him go ethereal from where we are?
Not with Elog standing up against this thing and him being as little as he is. Him blocking your view, I gave it to Tak and Arashi because Arashi's sitting right next to him, and Tak was up there talking to him as well. But if Elog stands in front of him, he's going to disappear completely from vision. So if this thing, he's got a big smile on, and there's a confidence in him that you realize can come from, like, yeah, if he decides to go after you, you may not see it coming.
I say, I like that tattoo. Where did you get it? We could pay money for
your skin.
A skilled tattoo artist.
That's a lot.
Tattoos for us.
He
would be a good new business for you.
He thinks about it for a second, and he goes, I've never thought about it. He looks a little concerned at Arashi, going, you want this skin? And he goes, tell you what. Are you being honest? Do you really seek to kill the thing or stop the thing that's been killing my men?
Absolutely 100%. I'm a man of honor, and I do not lie.
Bring me proof. And one of you, I'll tattoo myself.
I will bring you its head. It's a bugbear thing.
And I kind of look at the bugbear, and I'm kind of like, okay.
Yeah, same. Like, all right, I guess. But
Can we pay for a second tattoo?
Ew, David. Yeah.
David.
Yes. He looks at you and he goes, with enough gold, you can pay for anything you want. So yes, absolutely. I'll need some gem dust if you manage to find some, but I know where the mayor keeps his, so yeah.
All right, I think we should rest up before the nightfall and then either go down into the well or wait for it to come out.
Okay. But as we're leaving, I'm gonna turn to Lox and say,
What was that, Eli?
I'm gonna pat his head as we're leaving.
Okay. You give him a little pat on the head. It looks like it takes a lot to hold anything back, but he lets you pat him on the head. And gets up out of the chair and walks over to the door and opens it wide for you all to leave.
as we're walking out, I want to say to him, Lux, look, I like you, so I'm going to leave the crew in your care. You will be acting captain while I am gone, taking care of this. Please take good care of them.
This is incredibly generous of you.
I know.
Thank
I
you.
know. You are welcome. We'll see you soon with the head of a monster thingy so we can all get friendship tattoos.
Perfect. Perfect. I can't wait to tattoo the drow in particular. It'll be a great friendship tattoo.
Oh, great. Okay.
I
just kind of
put
shake
my arm
head.
around Elog and just kind of lead him out.
You guys all walk out. The crew jumps to stand at the ready when they see Arashi leave the room because they think it's the captain. But then there's a very confused look on their face as the captain walks out without his captain's hat, but Arashi tends to wear it. But all of them line up along the deck with very confused looks upon their faces, as if to say, did the captain give the ship away?
She is walking so confidently, greeting each and every one of them, saying, I will be back, take care, Lux is in charge, take care of this ship. Yes, it's nice to see all of you. We're going now, don't worry, we'll be back. Very, like she's playing captain, like a kid, almost like a kid.
Yeah.
But she means it though. Like to you, it probably looks like a kid playing pirate, but she is very...
I just love it. I'm hoping that she's dropping random nautical terms without knowing what they mean. To like swab the poop deck, and everyone just looks very confused. Yeah.
Random nautical terms about boats.
About boats. You guys leave. By the time you leave the ship and return back to the town proper, you are. It is turning into late evening at this point. You've got a couple of different options on places to stay. There's a place that's a little bit more affluent than the others, and a place that's a little more run-of-the-mill, sort of the salt of the earth inn. But there's two options to choose from.
I would prefer the nicer one.
We still have all that gold from the mayor?
You do.
So nice. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you kind of head to a small inn that's overlooking the water. That has all of these. It's kind of like right alongside the cliff's edge, away from the town proper, but overlooks the ships as well. It's called the Fairy Nice Inn. The FAIRYNICE Inn. The Fairy Nice Inn is run by pixies that have broken away from the Pixie Pact, and they have rooms. You see a pixie seated at the front desk in this small, what looks to be like a dollhouse chair. And as you come up to the desk, they go, "Welcome to the very nice inn. How many rooms would you like?"
Five.
Five rooms. Oh dear, no, that's wonderful. Will you be requiring any food or drinks sent up to the room?
Much food.
Water, much food. Would you be
I'll
requiring?
be eating down here.
Oh, of course. We have a lovely dining room. You can also sit outside, and we'd be happy to bring you any sort of food. Any of you requesting a bedtime story?
Oh, yes.
Lovely.
Absolutely.
It'll be about 1 gold. It'll be 3 gold for the deluxe package, and that comes with food and drink delivered to the room, and a bedtime story.
It comes with the bedtime story?
Yes, the 3 gold.
Okay. Do you have like a garden outside with a yurt or a tent or something?
No, but I'm sure that we could build one if you'd like to. If you'd rather sleep outside.
If it's an inconvenience to you, no.
No.
It's okay. No, I would sleep under. Do you have a tree?
No, we do have a tree, but let us we can build this. You called it a yurt.
Yeah, YURT yurt. It's
Okay.
like a fancy.
Sure. Yeah, let's see what we can do. And as she rings this tiny bell that's located next to the chair, and a few of the pixies come up, and they all start like whispering to one another. And you see one of the pixies kind of fly up close to your face, and they start like flittering around their little wings. And you see another one that sort of like measures you. And then they project an illusory image upon themselves of you. And it looks just like Arashi, and she says, all right, we'll go work on this right now. Everyone else, would you like the regular room or the deluxe room?
I need a very, very big bed. And much food brought to my room.
A large bed and much food.
Lots of space to shower.
Lots of space to shower.
Very.
You are like a large bear. But you speak better than most bears we've encountered.
Hey.
It's true, he does.
Thank you.
You've got a point. I just don't think you've spoken to many bears. That's it.
Sometimes we speak to bears.
Okay.
That's fair. Anyone else?
I'll take a regular room. I don't need anything special.
Regular room. Understood. And you?
The same for me.
Same for you.
I will take a corner room with only one entrance, and make sure that there's water and food brought to me.
Water and food. Very well.
He likes water. Lots of water.
This is such a very hyper-specific room request. We are very happy to accommodate.
We still have that big bag of gold, right?
Do you say that out loud?
Sure.
Yep. The pixie's eyes go wide.
Who's carrying it?
And that would be Mannheim.
Yep, I got it.
Mannheim, can I have some?
Yeah, I'm gonna pay for all the rooms.
I reach into it and I just grab a handful and I just put a handful down for the pixies. Here.
I just start taking pieces back and leaving back. Paid for the room left on the counter.
You are also the most generous bear we have ever met in our lives.
You can hug me if you'd like.
He's a hug bear.
Oh my god, can we? And like the little pixie like comes off and like just says dunk against the fur. It's like a bug hitting a windshield. It just like lands on your chest and it just kind of sits there and it goes, "You are so warm."
Okay, that's enough cuddling.
Yes, that's enough. Okay. And they come back and it says, "Your rooms will be worked on right now. For those of you," she hands a key to each of you that's pixie size, but when placed upon your hand, it grows in size. You notice this is it's a clever use of the reduce and large spell as the key enters into your hand. but you are given rooms at the Fairly Nice Inn, a Fairy Nice Inn, and the Fairy Nice Inn. For your requests are all met, Elog. You notice that they didn't have a corner room, so what they did is they blocked off the rest of the rooms with furniture. So like you see like a bench and like a barrel and the rest of the room, so that like you are the end room. But they've just blocked off the rest of them. So to give the facsimile of a corner room.
All right.
Okay.
I can dig it.
Takashi, you have the largest room in the Fairy Nice Inn. There is a small what looks to be running waterfall in a corner of the room. All of the beds have a very natural feel to them, and I say natural. The room is very organic. Wood. The comforter is actually flowers that have been like stitched together over and over again. And everything in the room, there's even floating globes of light that go about the space. And upon closer inspection, you realize that they're enlarged lightning bugs that have been used to light the room. Takashi, you have you look at the bed and you're like, wow, this is really large. And then upon pulling the comforter back, you see it is 3 beds that have been pushed together. And what looks to be quite a bit of fluff on top that has been made to make it appear as if it is one large bed.
Before we all go in the rooms, I look at Mannheim and I say, Mannheim, why don't we get a drink at the bar?
That's the plan. Would you like to join me?
Let us go to the bar.
We're meeting back downstairs at what time? We want to get out there before the bars close at 2, 3, 4. What time does the inn close? Do we know? I asked Pixie if we.
Yeah, you asked the Pixie, and she's like, "This inn will stay open as long as you need us to." Were you speaking of the inn at the center of town?
Yes, the inn at the center of town.
Yes, usually around 2 or 3.
All right, so let's take a rest and meet back here at 1.
Okay. I will say this. If you go to sleep right now, you will get a long rest in. Okay? Because if you're waking up at 1 a.m. to hit things up, you're going to need that time. Mannheim and Elog, if you go drinking, you are not going to get a long rest in. You will have a short rest and you'll take that point of exhaustion, okay? But I respect the RP, okay? I get it. I do. But I gotta.
Will we get a point of exhaustion tonight, or would it not go into effect until tomorrow?
You would get a. I would have to give you the point of exhaustion at the start of the next upcoming thing, and that's just disadvantage on skill checks. Any skill check that you take is going to be a disadvantage.
I was only planning to go get a thing of water and ask him what he think about everything that happened and go back to sleep.
All right, I'm gonna give you guys like 10 minutes. 10 minutes to meet up at the bar, grab as much water as you want.
Takashi has already passed out, and you can hear his snoring throughout the entire hotel. Unless it's magically protected, but he snores incredibly loudly. He's bugbears really like this.
Takashi, give me perception checks at disadvantage, please.
Well, it doesn't matter. That's a 2, so well, I guess I'll roll another. That would give me a 6.
Word has spread. You don't really notice this, but over the course of the night, about 8 pixies put themselves under your fur and just spend the night like this, like up against, like if anybody were to walk by your room, they just see 8 pixies like as you breathe in and out and snore, they're all just like soaking up that body heat, and you're hearing little whispers of like, I told you he's so warm, so it's the nicest bear, and you just hear them like talking over and over again.
So cute.
I'm okay with it.
Okay, cool. Elog and Mannheim, before you go get a drink, Carlon, are you resting as well? You're kind of doing the pass out thing?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm out. I'm just like, cool. I got like chopped earlier. I'm going to bed.
Oh, that's right. You've been doing this whole thing, holding your side, being like, "There's a little blood here. I don't know."
It's fine. It's normal.
Okay.
It's fine.
Arashi, as you head outside after a bit of time, having a nice cup of tea, I think, while your yurt is being prepared, you are led to a bower. What looks to be a scene straight out of Midsummer Night's Dream, fit for Titania. It is overhanging branches, little bits of moss, but you can still see the stars out. But this looks to provide a bit of cover. There's a small fire built for you. And you can smell a very unique smell on the air, as it seems that they have put a little bit of loose sage into the fire. So there's this good earthy smell that seems to come from the fire as well. But you have a small, beautiful little like outside space for you, and you see a sign above this little like bower that says yurt, but the R is backwards. Like it's.
Now that she kind of looks back to see if like any of the guys see her, does anyone see her out here?
No, Takashi's already out. Carlin's out. Mannheim and Elog are drinking, but you do see the 3 pixies that kind of built it, like hovering in the air with their arms like this, like waiting for some sort of sign of approval. Like
when she sees that no one is like looking at her, she turns into like a little kid. She's like super excited, jumping around, like looking at everything. She pulls out her lute, starts playing it and dancing with the pixies. Around.
Yeah, you have an enjoyable. I imagine it's such a flash of energy that you're Boo in Monsters Inc. You're just like just out. But yes, mark down Arashi, Carlon, Takashi, Mannheim, and Elog. You guys have a drink, and if you guys want to talk about anything before you rest for the evening.
So, Mannheim, what do you think of the pirate's story? Do you actually believe that they are not part of this? Or what's your thought?
I definitely think they're not part of this. I think they stumbled onto someone committing crimes and decided to take advantage of that fact, but nothing more.
And do you think he looks like a bugbear?
I'm not sure what the thing looks like, other than large and frightening.
We're gonna have fun tonight.
Don't we always? That's when I take a shot.
Yep. Take a shot. All right. See you at 1.
At 1.
All of you mark down a long rest. Recoup any hit points lost, any abilities lost. Your level up should kick in right now. If it didn't already, it should be there on D&D Beyond and all of that stuff. So your level up takes place. Because you are staying at the very nice inn, you also get an extra benefit from staying here as compared to staying at the other inn of your choice. For the time being, all of you are so rested and are so enchanted by your stay here at the very nice inn that the extra bonus is you get a little bit of the perks of hanging out with the Sylvan. So for the next few, I will say for the next 24 hours, you cannot be put to sleep by magical means. You also have advantage on any spells meant to charm you. Because all of you ate or drank a little bit.
saving throws.
Against being charmed.
Okay.
Any spell that would go to charm you. You also cannot be put to sleep by magical means.
I think I already have that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. You all wake up. Takashi, as you awaken, you look down and see 8 pixies that are fast asleep upon your rising and falling belly.
I start scooping them. Come, little ones. Fly free.
You start tossing them out the window, and there's a, this is great! And they all go flying out the window. You all meet up at the front of the Very Nice Inn. How are we doing this, gang? The first thing I need is a marching order, okay? I also need to know if you're going stealthy or if we're just going in full guns a-blazing. If you're going stealthy, it's a little bit half your movement, and I'm going to need stealth checks from the party. So
to clarify, right now we're going. Where are we going? To the well?
We go to the well and we surround it and kind of stealthily approach and create a perimeter and then attack as soon as it comes out.
Okay, so give me my marching order first. Who's going first?
I will. I have a high stealth and
okay.
A lot of
talk.
Is this like a marching order on the way to the well?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait. Before we go, I would like to cast Pass Without a Trace.
Nice. I was wondering if somebody would. So for all of your stealth checks, add a +10 to them. So behind talk, I'll say Arashi.
Yeah.
I'll go for that.
Carl. Mannheim. You're batting cleanup, Elog.
All right.
Anybody here not have dark vision?
I don't.
I think I do. Hold on.
Tritons do not.
We don't?
Nope. Makes no sense, and I hate it so much.
Makes no sense.
It doesn't.
I do.
I think Talk does. I think Mannheim does.
I do.
Elog definitely does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so for perception checks, for stuff like that, unless you have a way to augment this, unless you're carrying a light with you, you're going to be relying on the hand on the shoulder of the person in front of you as you make your way silently through this area. I'm not going to give you disadvantage on the stealth checks, but you are going to have difficulty seeing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. That being said, give me stealth, gang. This will be a collective test. I need more successes than failures as you make your way through the town.
I got a 23.
We get an additional +10, right?
You add a +10 to whatever you roll, thanks to Arashi.
Right. So I got a 22.
So 23 for Elog.
+10, which would be 30.
33 for Elog. Takashi?
20.
20.
32.
Is that with the +10, Takashi?
That's with my +10 and +6. I rolled a 4.
No worries. That +10 is coming in clutch. Mannheim, what did you get?
32.
32. Carlon?
30.
30. Jeez. Arashi?
16.
16. Okay. You've got more successes than failures. It's late enough that many of the people that are walking are either inebriated or they're headed home after a long day. But you silently begin to creep your way through the town. You spend a good portion of it hugging shadows. Takashi, you take the lead on this, but a few times. There's a couple of times where you're walking and you just hear this this little meow from Mannheim to tell you to you're about to run into something and you stop your foot and things of that sort. Arashi gets very excited and at one point starts humming stealth walking music, and you guys quickly get her.
It's Krunk's
Yeah. Still wearing the captain's hat.
Straight up.
Yep. But fairly soon, you make your way over to the well.
Look for what's the perimeter look like?
Okay. So let's say this: the well is pretty large. This well is the only freshwater source on the island. You've been able to glean on this particular town. This is the freshwater source. You're not sure where it comes from. I'll say this. I'll say that the well itself, think a 20-foot radius. How about that? Okay.
Can I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Elog, so you guys are scoping out the perimeter. Like I said, it's at the center of the town. All roads lead to the well. So all the points of the town are leading here to this point. So covering a perimeter of this size, you'd almost have to have people split up into different sections. Like 2 people looking here, 2 people looking here, but working under the deficit that Karlon and Arashi cannot help for this. So it'd almost be like Talk, Elog, and Mannheim each taking a section and just sort of scoping an eye out in all different points.
Do we see the well? Like we see where it is? Right?
You're pressed up against it, and so you can even hear a little bit of the water rippling and things of that sort. So I will say, Arashi and Karlin, you have your backs to the well. And there's enough ambient light from the moon, probably lanterns along the city streets, that it's dim light, but you're not trying to hide at this point, correct? Like you're there.
Yeah, I'd like to turn. Who's closest to me, or can anyone hear me if I like whisper?
I feel like while they're searching, you and I are just like hanging out, just like, it'd be nice if we could see.
Okay, do you think I should set a snare for it around the well so in case it pops up, surprise, we got it?
That'd be great. Setting a trap.
Yeah.
Elog, give me a perception check with your Detect Magic, pal.
Perception check is 12 plus 2. $22.
Everybody's magical items light up. Okay, so anybody that's carrying a magical item on their person, you're going to see a faint glow. Every wizard or a person that is able to cast Detect Magic, I like that they are able to see it however they want to see it. So some people see shades of colors. Some people see like auras surrounding it. So how does Elog see?
Aura.
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 Okay. As you look around the group with the in the 20s, not only do you see the faint glow around, but there is an ambient glow that's coming from the Alchemist store, which is not uncommon because you knew that there were magical items in there. There could be wards set up. You also notice that next to the well, on one of the bricks is giving off a faint glow.
Mannheim, go check out that brick right quick.
You see something with your magic sight. I would ask him what school of magic he sees on the brick, because I know he can see that with Detect Magic.
What school of magic do I see on the brick?
You see conjuration magic.
Conjure.
I'm setting a snare.
Setting a snare? Okay. Arashi, you set up a snare on the outside. Do you let everyone know that you're doing that so nobody accidentally like Scooby-Doo's it and sets off their own trap? Like,
she thinks about it, gets a little devilish smile, and then tells everybody.
Okay. Arashi,
so
let's
help out the two that can't see anything. The brick that has conjure magic, I'll toss some fairy fire on it so that everybody can actually see the brick.
Okay. Elog is going to do as he does this, as you're setting up the snare. The brick itself, the well itself, I think begins to alight. I think for fairy fire, I'm not. Let me see if it's an. Is it an item? Each object, yeah. So I will say this: the well itself, around the outer edges of it, light up. Lighting this particular brick, but along with the other bricks as you catch like a portion of this wall. And Elog is able to point this out. Does anybody in this group, what are the languages that the people in this group speak? Mannheim, let's start with you. What languages do you speak, pal?
I think I just get common.
Just common. All right. Carlon, what about you?
Celestial, Common, Elvish, and Undercommon.
Okay. Carlon, as you see this, anybody else that speaks Undercommon, you would see this as well. As you look at the brick, you see that there is an outline of a symbol carved around the edges of the brick. Okay. Currently, it translates into no water.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna share that with everybody and just kind of point out and be like, huh, I think if we push this, the water will go away. Just throwing that one out there for y'all.
Interesting.
So do we...
Again, I looked at Mannheim. I was like, "You want to push the button?"
Not yet. If we have to follow this thing in the well, then definitely. And having said that, I'm gonna go find a place that I have a good view of the courtyard that's in a shadow, and I'm gonna use my warlock ability to just disappear and go invisible while in that shadow.
Okay.
I think everybody should hide around the as well. So I'm going to try.
Thank you, Lionhead Gaming, for hosting the stream for 11 viewers. You guys are the best. Thank you. Okay. Everybody else, then I can't give you the +10 on this because you're separating yourself proximity-wise from Arashi.
It's 30. Wait, hold on. Let me just see what the. How far away is everyone going?
It sounds like they're splitting themselves up more than the 30 feet from you.
Okay. Yeah, because
How
it's.
big is this courtyard?
God,
30 feet's a lot.
30 feet is a lot. The well itself.
30 feet in each direction, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a 60-foot circle around her.
Sure.
But if she's going to walk to one end, it's only going to reach 30 feet into the clearing.
Right.
One other person could probably go with Arashi and still be under effect of this.
Who wants to hide with Arashi? Anyone?
Yeah, I'll go with Arashi.
Okay.
Okay. It's the shadowy corner, and
I'm hiding on my own. I got a 24.
24.
oh, guess we should roll.
Yeah, I need a new stealth check, gang. If you're hanging out with Arashi, you get to be one of the cool kids and you get a +10.
I got 30.
30 for Mannheim.
16.
16 for Carlon.
26.
26 for Arashi.
21.
21. And Ben, Mannheim, you actually make this check at advantage if you're going invisible.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool.
I rolled a 16 and a 1.
Yeah, take the 16. That's a good call.
Yeah, I decided that would be the one I was going to take.
Okay. So you guys find your spots separated from the area, splitting yourselves up, but still keeping an eye on the well at the center of the town.
Is it still lit up with fairy fire? The stone.
It is. Would you like to drop that spell?
Drop
yes.
Yep. Okay. So you cut it. You guys stay in place for about an hour. Watching as random people move about. At one point, the lights on the inn begin to be turned off as the candlelight begins to subside, and other individuals move to the various points in the town. The lights in the and some of the other buildings, including the Alchemist building, also you see tend to dim as the night wears on. It gets very quiet until you're all sitting in your respective spots and you hear a loud like something stomping the ground, something heavy. There's no other humans, no other beings around the area where you are. It seems to be coming from where the docks were. And this large thumping sound starts to shake the ground, and you can feel the vibrations under your feet.
It's coming from where the docks are?
It's coming from that particular direction.
Does it sound like it's moving towards it or away from it?
It sounds like it's moving towards the well.
Towards the well, okay.
Are we staying put?
Ready and attack, yes.
Readying an attack.
Ready and attack as well.
Readying an attack as well.
Same.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
I have my wand out.
Yes.
Could I send Archimedes up to fly up and see if he sees anything?
Yes, you can.
You go straight up, you come straight down, don't take any unnecessary risks.
You hear as Archimedes flies up to a corner and is looking down, and then spends a bit of time. Did you want him to report back to you to what he saw?
Yeah.
Archimedes comes back to you, and you don't hear a voice in your head. It's not like similar to the familiar, like where you're able to see through his eyes. Instead, you get almost like pictures that flash in your head. So you see this image of a hulking figure wearing what looks to be a black cloak. It's built as if the arms and the legs themselves look like tree trunks. Okay? It is so dark outside that you're having trouble seeing what Archimedes saw. You do see that this figure is holding a body. It's a form in its hands, and it's walking towards the well like this, holding a body in its hands.
Who's with me?
Me.
Okay, I'm gonna report all of that to you, and then then I'm just gonna turn and make like a bird noise, even though we never said what a bird noise would be as a signal. She's just gonna do it.
Yeah, Arashi, I'm gonna need to hear that bird noise, please. I'm gonna need to.
And as she does that, I'm just gonna look at her and go, "You know, I can speak telepathically to all of them, right?"
Oh, yeah.
Then I go ahead and I tell them everything she told me mentally.
It's a 30-foot range on your telepathic ability right there, pal. So you're gonna be like, I think I got this, and nobody hears this. Like nobody's gonna double check for me.
Yeah, I'm double checking because I don't remember.
While he's checking, I would like to instruct Archimedes to take this hat, go stay somewhere safe.
Oh, you're right. It is 30 feet. I thought it was longer.
He takes the hat, and then he comes up to you and he gives you a little like head butt, like he like boops your snoot with his as he flies up a little bit, and then just flies off back towards the Fairy Nice Inn.
Oh, good.
A bit of time happens, and you're gonna need to let me know when you guys kick this off. Okay? After a bit of time, it's obvious there is a large creature walking into this space. The legs are brown and look to be made of some sort of earthen material. There is a cloak, a black cloak over the head, and for those of you with dark vision, you are able to see that at nighttime, this could be, if you were squinting, be mistaken for a humanoid figure. But
there's a center around the well.
I'll say this: it's 30 feet from the well. It's holding a body in its hands, up top. And as you look closer. Everybody give me perception checks. Karlon and Arashi at disadvantage because you don't have night vision.
11.
11.
17.
17.
I also have 11.
Okay. Takashi.
20.
20.
8.
8. Takashi, you immediately recognize the body of the alchemist that you talked to the previous day. The lifeless form.
That's the lifeless form there.
The lifeless form in this thing says like the eyes are open. Like the eyes are open, the mouth is open, like he's being held in hand. He's still wearing those odd glasses that he had on the day before. Like it's being held in the arms.
Do I see the tanks?
There are no tanks upon this thing's person. Like there's no the barrels that were described before that were on top of this thing. You don't see any such barrels.
I don't see the alchemist, right?
You don't. The only one who does is Takashi.
I think
it gets 10 feet away from the well and heads towards that brick.
I'm gonna fire upon it and sneak attack on this guy.
This will be the surprise round, okay? As
Yeah.
Takashi is gonna kick this off, okay?
I'm gonna put
Let
a
it
fire.
get-
Everybody that prepared an attack.
Yep.
Everybody that was like, I'm prepped, I'm ready to go, I'm gonna do this. Like I'm gonna let you be able to do this. Like as you are able to just to run forward and just and pound into this. So everybody's gonna get an attack, and then we are going to roll initiative. Okay.
All right.
Takashi, give me your attack first with sneak attack.
Okay. 18 and 15. Oh wait, that's so I'm using the I'm using my action surge.
So
I'm
you're
going to use
my
fighting spirits for advantage as well.
Okay.
So my first one was an 18.
18's gonna hit.
Second one is a 22.
That's gonna hit as well.
27 and a 16.
16 doesn't hit. The other three do.
Okay, and then 7, 14, 8 plus 14 plus 2d6. $32 plus 15, so 47 points of damage.
47 points of damage. Oof a doof.
And I didn't even do my sharpshooter thing.
Yeah, you see as a barrage, once again, faster than the eye can catch, as fly outward from where Takashi's position is. As they fly outward, bits of this creature are carved off of it. Two of the arrows hitting it in the torso and a large chunk of it sticking to the arrow and hitting the ground. You would immediately recognize this as a golem of sorts, but not in particular the one that you were shown diagrams of. It lets out this guttural, like, as it turns its head in Takashi's direction. With that, Elog, give me your surprise attack right now. As the space that you are all in immediately illuminates with light. As the arrows fly and hit this thing, you hear this small hoot, and a mechanical owl wearing a captain's hat that is far too large for it is looking down upon the ground and illuminating where the golem is. It refused to leave, but out of its eyes, the ruby eyes that make up and bring it light, it is casting a rudimentary light spell, allowing Arashi and Karlon to see it, as it's refusing to leave its mother after rolling a 2 on the dice to follow directions. So, so the space is illuminated with light, almost as if you have a tiny drone, like shining a light upon this creature. So, Karlon and Arashi, these attacks will not be at disadvantage because you are unable to see it. Elog, give me your surprise attack.
I fired 2 different firebolts at him.
Okay.
My first roll was a 25.
25 hits.
My second was a 32.
How are you able to fire 2 firebolts at him?
2 attacks.
2 attacks. Got it. Hang on.
Oh, because you're
That only works with physical attacks.
Yeah,
I don't
big
think
guy.
you can do it with spells. Yeah.
Spells. Yeah, spells. It's going to take a whole action to do that.
Okay, well then my firebolt is I fire my 1 firebolt.
To take that firebolt, roll me some damage.
20. Wait, what's my plus for damage? Okay. So I have 22 and my plus damage, so 25.
This lance of fire streams outward from your outstretched hand, lancing into the side of this thing, and burning away a small portion of it. As the firebolt reaches outward, so it's actually just 2d10 damage for the firebolt cantrip. And there's actually no pluses to the damage. So give me those 2d10. Roll that 2d10 damage again for me one more time. Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to do a little bit extra because this thing does not like fire.
Okay,
You've got a plus to hit.
It says I get a +6.
That's to hit. So whatever you roll on the die to hit it, you're going to get that +6 to. But then the damage is still going to be the 2d10.
All right, so I re-rolled. I got an 18.
18 points of damage is nothing to sneeze at, and you think you do a little bit more oomph behind this spell as the firebolt streams outstretched from your hand, cutting across the night sky and hitting this thing on the side. Parts of it begin to melt off where the firebolt hit, causing these large clumps of earth and clay to fall off of it. Mannheim.
So my attacks is 2 Eldritch Blasts. I went ahead and rolled them. Ended up getting a 24 to hit with one of them and a natural 20 on the other.
That's great. Roll double damage on that other one.
The first one does 8 points of damage, and the second one does 12 points of damage for a total of 20.
20 points total. 85 points already, guys. Oof. All right, Karlon.
Oh, I didn't ready an attack because I couldn't see and I have no ranged weapons.
You're like, get him, guys.
Like, cool, it's dark.
That's fair. Arashi, what about you? Did you ready an attack?
I think I said I did, but I can't remember if I said I did. So I'm going to say no because I can't see.
That's all right. 85 points is nothing to sneeze at. As suddenly the space before you is illuminated by the light of Archimedes as he shines down upon the scene. You can very visibly see now that this is a golem of sorts, and he is holding what appears to be the lifeless body of the alchemist in his hand. The eyes open, the skin a little pale. I need everybody to go ahead and roll initiative for me as we kick into combat proper, as this thing is over by the well.
20, a natural 20.
Let's do this. 20 to 25.
22.
Okay. Mannheim with a 22. 20 to 15. No. Arashi. Yeah, what was your initiative total?
I was wrong. My bad.
20.
I had a 25.
25. So that's going to put Elog first, then Mannheim.
What do you have to initiative?
Wait, what do you got? What do you got to initiative?
+3. I rolled a 22 plus with the +3 for initiative.
I don't think. How did you get a 22, my dude? On a D20.
Oh, I'm rolling. Okay, D20. Let me roll.
You got the magic dice. I see how it is.
D100.
I'm 19 plus +3.
19 plus 3. All right.
Yeah.
Mannheim, did you get a 22 as well?
Yeah.
Mannheim and Elog, go ahead and give me a roll off. Straight D20, don't add your dex.
9.
17.
Yeah, Elog's still going first. You got Elog, Mannheim, Arashi, 20 to 15. 15 to 10.
12.
12. And what about you, Takashi?
5.
5. Okay. All right. Elog, you're up first, man. This thing is lumbering. It's holding the body in its hand, but it's standing next to the well. What are you doing?
How close is it to the well?
I would say it's 10 feet away at this point.
Damn it. Darn it. Gosh darn it.
No, you're good. You're good.
So my rapier only has a 5 feet reach, so
You're gonna have to get up on it.
I do have a longbow, but I don't think the longbow will do it.
I say charge him.
I'm gonna charge him. With my rapier.
I like how Mannheim is the one that's like, you should probably charge it. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna stay
I was
back.
thinking about it.
I'm gonna stay back. But
I'm back here.
yeah.
You should probably charge him.
All right, Elog, you cut the distance to this thing very, very quickly. Your rapier out at your side as you rush forward. What are you doing with your action, big guy?
I'm gonna try to 1d8 for damage. Oh, I'm gonna charge him, and I'm gonna try to chop off some more of them or whatever. I swing my blade at him.
Okay, you got that blade out. Yeah, give me an attack roll. Add +6.
And he has 2 attacks, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I rolled 6. I'm 1d6. No. I rolled a 9.
A 9. So that's going to be a 15 to hit as you bring that rapier out to stab against the side. This thing takes one meaty hand made of earth and pushes the sword off to the side, making that blow just miss. So go ahead and give me another attack roll.
18.
18 hits. Give me some damage. 1d8 plus 3.
Uh, 6.
6 points of damage. Another small part of it falls off to the side as Elog comes forward and manages to get that rapier into a little sweet spot right on the side. You doing anything with your bonus action?
I'm moving back.
Okay. If you move back, you're going to take an attack of opportunity. So it's going to take a swing at you. But you are free to do this.
You also have a bonus action you can use to disengage if you'd like to.
No, he does not.
Has he used his 30 feet?
Nope. Not every character is able to disengage with a bonus action. A lot of that is reserved for rogues. You can use an action. Most characters can use an action to disengage. I do not think that is an equivalent of the Blade Song, Elf. Not everybody gets that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like I have disengaged.
So you're gonna take a step. You're gonna take a step back anyway, or you're gonna stay there?
I'm gonna stay there.
All right. Elog's up in the fray. Mannheim, you're up.
I'm gonna blast him in the face with Eldritch Blast again.
Give me another blast with Eldritch Blast.
So that's a 26 to hit on the first hit.
26 hits. Roll damage.
And a 22 to hit for the second hit of it.
Roll 2 sets of damage.
So the first one is 13 points.
Okay.
Second one is 5.
Nice. You guys are killing it. All right. Poof, poof.
Man, kill it.
Yeah, another couple of arcane blasts fly outward as Mannheim from a distance goes, Elog, you got this, and hits it from far away. You doing anything with your bonus action, Mannheim?
No, I think there's nothing I can really do.
Okay, that's your turn, Arashi.
She is going to see the body of the alchemist and just completely lose her mind. And she's going to cast Flaming Sphere at it.
Okay.
Needs to make a dexterity saving throw of 13.
Sure. Tell me a little bit about Flaming Sphere.
I'm sorry, you cut out.
Tell me a little bit about Flaming Sphere. Is it a radius?
It's a ranged attack. It is a 5-foot diameter sphere.
Cool.
So it's 60 feet range. So it's going to be 5 feet in diameter. They have to make a dexterity saving throw. If they fail, they'll take half damage. And I can keep it up.
Does an 11 make the save?
Sure doesn't.
All right. Give me some damage.
Yeah, 2 6s. So that's 12 points of fire damage.
12 points of fire damage, and it looks like it does a little bit more than that. As Arashi gives forth a guttural scream, channeling the primal energies of fire in her person, sending it hurtling towards the golem. It is now the golem's turn. And
I'm also keeping it on him as well.
you're going to keep it right there?
Yeah. Also, it ignites flammable objects if there's any around that he's not wearing.
Okay. Okay. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere. Okay. Got it. Yeah, this is a.
No, the alchemist.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The alchemist.
You see a small portion of the alchemist's shirt begin to catch on fire as this thing is held up, and this is a large golem, and you're hitting it kind of lower on the part of its body. But I think I'll do this. Some of the bits of the alchemist's shirt catch on fire.
Okay, I was aiming for its head, so.
Are you aiming for its head?
The alchemist.
Okay, yeah, the alchemist is definitely on fire.
Okay.
Alchemist.
He's full primordial freaking out.
Okay.
Freaking out.
Alchemist is on fire. So that is that. The golem's turn. There is only one person that he can hit. It's the dude up on him. Elog, 22 to hit.
Does he not get the disadvantage because he's carrying something right now?
No, but that was a good try.
I mean, you know.
Elog, does that hit your armor class? 22.
My armor class is 15, so yes.
Yeah, that's going to hit. Elog, you take 13 points of damage as this thing takes a meaty fist and just slams it into your side. And then it's going to take its second attack against you. Elog, a 29 to hit.
Yikes.
That almost beats my armor class.
You're going to take another 16 points of damage, Elog.
Yikes.
You're doing great. You got this.
It is going to back away from Elog. Go ahead and give me an attack of opportunity as it's going to make its way the 10 feet closer towards the fountain.
Okay.
So Elog, you can give me another like melee attack if you want to, as this thing is is making its way back towards the fountain.
So I couldn't do like Booming Blade. I would have to do another rapier attack or something like that.
You couldn't do Booming Blade. You can't cast a spell unless you have the Warcaster feat. And even Booming Blade, I think you're casting it on the like a weapon, and then your next weapon attack. So no,
Right.
this would just have to be a straight up rapier attack.
Well, I will say Booming Blade happens with an attack. As part of the action of doing the cast, you have to make an attack, but it's still casting a spell. So I would say you can't do it as a reaction unless you have the
Warcaster feat.
Warcaster. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Elog, give me that attack roll, son.
20.
That hits. Give me some damage.
Plus 3. I got an 8 plus 3, so
11.
11.
Another big chunk of this thing falls off to the wayside, and as it moves out of the fire range, it's going to it breaks away from you, and with its bonus action, it hits that brick. And you see the water start to drain out of the well. That's all it can do on its turn. As it moves away from Elog, moves towards the well, and drains the water from the well. That is its entire turn. It's now precariously, like, its back is to you all. And so, Carlon, it is your turn.
The Alchemist is still on fire?
The Alchemist is still on fire. This is fine. This is fine.
It's totally fine. How far is it from me?
I will say it's 20 feet from you.
Cool. I'm gonna close in and make 2 attacks. First one's an 18 to hit.
18 just hits.
Okay, that's gonna be 3 damage, or 4 damage, excuse me.
4 damage.
The next one is a 19.
19 hits.
That's 7. And the next one is another 19 for 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay. A fist pounding against this thing. As Carlon cuts the distance and moves past you, Elog, faster than you can sort of track. And he positions himself right behind this thing. Takashi.
And I'm gonna.
Oh, no, sorry. Bonus action.
I'm gonna look over at. No, the third attack was my bonus action, but I'm gonna look at Elog and be like, "You got this," and I'm gonna use the rest of my movement to move back.
You move back out of distance again. There you go. It's got its back to you, and it's already burned its reaction. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
How far away am I?
Let's say 30 feet, Takashi.
Great. I am going to run in. I am going to attack with my long sword and a kick, and then grapple with my tavern brawler. So I'm going to try to grab this guy before he goes down the well.
Yeah.
All right. So I got a nat 1.
The nat 1 unfortunately misses on the attack.
Long sword. But I did get a 18 on the kick.
Okay. You're just attempting to kick this thing, kick the golem.
I have to do an unarmed strike in order to do the grapple
Got it.
bonus.
So it's a slice with the sword, and as the sword sort of goes off, you're trying to catch your balance a little bit, but instead you extend your long leg outward, and you feel the impact as you slam against the chest of this thing.
It does 5 damage.
5 points of damage.
And then I'm going to attempt to grapple.
Okay, you are attempting to grapple the alchemist out of its grasp, correct?
Yeah, grab the alchemist out, sure.
Okay, let's do this then. This is not really grappling it. You're trying to pull something out of its.
I can grapple the thing. I mean, I was thinking that the grapple would be grabbing this and tackling this.
Okay, that's different for me. That's like if you're trying to if you're trying to take the alchemist out, that's one thing. If you're trying to like grab onto this thing, that's completely different.
I'm gonna grapple the golem
as a bonus action.
As my bonus action, yeah.
And how did you? Is this from your tavern brawler?
So tavern brawler, it's when you hit a creature with an unarmed strike or an improvised weapon on your turn, you can use the bonus action to attempt to grapple that target.
It's a bonus action. Heck, and yes. What a pretty dope. Okay. Give me an athletics check.
Especially for a fighter, they can throw it a couple attacks and then kick and grapple.
I got 18.
Yeah, you beat him by 1. He got a 17. As you guys watch this, Takashi literally goes up and bear hugs this thing, wrapping his arms around it, preventing it from fleeing the scene. The alchemist in his shoulder, but Takashi just like wraps his arms around it, holding it in place. That is a great move. Well done, Takashi. That's going to take us back to the top of the initiative order with Elog. Wait, hang on. Sorry.
I'll say her turn.
I thought Arashi cast Flaming Sphere.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I thought we already done another round.
Oh, no. This is still the first round.
We did surprise first, if you're thinking.
We did.
Oh, that's right. He's the one that rolled the 5. I thought she rolled the 5 or something.
Yeah, everybody held attacks, and then we did the first round, and then we're going back to the top of the initiative order for round 2. Elog.
I'm going to take while he's grappling or pull him to the ground, I'm going to go get the monk, the alchemist, or try to pull the alchemist from him.
All right, give me, yeah, this got to be contested strength checks, pal.
But I think yours is a disadvantage because you're grappled, right? Don't you have disadvantage on? Oh no,
he would attack him with advantage if he attacks him, but
I think it's dex checks maybe. Then I think you have disadvantage on something when you're grappled. But
yeah,
I'm gonna look it up and see what it is.
Under the grapple condition, your speed becomes 0, but that's the only.
Oh, that's right. You gotta actually pin them or restrain them to do.
He can't move.
You guys can attack him with advantage.
No,
that's restrained.
No,
that's what the restrained is.
Oh, I gotta pin him to do that.
You gotta, yeah. There's got to be a different move where you like pin him to the ground and then they could be. But right now, you're just holding him in place.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So Elog, yeah.
Give my dexterity to try to get the alchemist.
Yeah, give me an athletics check, dude.
Just to confirm, on athletics checks is 1d20 I'm rolling, correct?
1d20, and I don't know how beefy your boy is.
I don't get a plus on athletics.
Yeah, so it's going to be just a straight d20.
18.
18. With that, the golem holds on, but Elog manages to channel in some sort of inner strength, and with his turn, he is able to yank the alchemist from the golem's grip. And I will say, with your movement, as you drag him on the ground a bit, the fire is naturally put out as you drag him on the ground.
So I'm pulling him away from the.
Stop, drop, and roll, Elog.
Trained you for this.
All right, Elog, that was a good move. Mannheim.
I'm gonna go ahead and do a sapping sting. Let me pull this back up again because I left the tab.
To make some prone or something, right?
Yeah. One of my page with my sheet disappeared on me, so I gotta open up again real quick.
No, that's fine.
Unbelievable.
Come on, Ben.
What the save is or anything.
This is going to get weird because if he fails this check, he's not prone. but he's being held up by Takashi. So I'm torn between Takashi and him both falling to the ground, or what?
I'm the only one that's taking damage so far.
It won't load. Let me try and pull it up on my computer.
Yeah, it's because everybody told you to get up melee with this thing, and you listened to him. And Ben just stood back.
Yeah, for some reason it's not loading on my phone right now, so I'm gonna try and pull it up on the computer real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. This is Sapping Sting, right?
Yeah.
This is a 30-foot cantrip. It makes a con save. You do 2d4 at level 5. So I need to make a con save against this.
Yeah, and I think it's a 16 is my save.
This dice is being put away. I fail the save. So roll your 2d4. Takashi, you feel the energy being leached out of this. This is not an uncommon move to see Mannheim do. What is uncommon is for him to do it to something that you're holding. So you have grappled this thing, and all of a sudden, its full weight goes into your arms. Because, yeah. So, give me your damage, Mannheim.
It was 7 points of damage to him.
Okay. So, Takashi, I'm going to give you two choices right now as your free action. You can drop him and let him fall prone to the ground with your free action because you feel the weight and go into you, or you can do a strength check and keep holding him up.
No, I'm gonna drop it to the ground.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this is a 1-2 punch that you two have worked out before, where like you know what he's gonna do. You guys kind of read each other's mind, and it's a 1-2 boom. As the vitality fades from him, he just very quickly hits his knees, and Takashi, you let go as he falls prone to the ground. That's Mannheim's turn. Arashi, your turn.
Does Takashi move back from him?
Takashi doesn't have any movement here. It was actually very generous to give him the ability to let go. So he does not have any movement here, but he does. You do see this thing fall to the ground as he lets go of it.
Cool. Because I will always go with RP. So, she's still completely incensed and blinders on, and so she's going to call down lightning on it.
Okay, the flaming sphere drops as you call down bolt. What spell in particular are you using?
Call
lightning. Oh,
so
overkill.
Within 5 feet of him.
Cast the spell. You see a point. A bolt of lightning. Each creature within 5 feet of that. Yep. Give me a dexterity saving throw, Takashi.
Sorry, I'm
going to make 13. This at disadvantage. The first roll was a 20, but because he's not prone, I'm making this a disadvantage. This is going to be a 8 on the die, so he's definitely failing.
Yep. I got a 12.
That is also a fail. Roll your lightning damage.
18 points of lightning.
Oof. So there's good news and bad news. Takashi, you take a full bolt of lightning to the chest, okay? As Arashi screams out into the night sky and calls down lightning, which surrounds the area and illuminates the darkness for a brief second. Arashi, how do you want to do this? How do you kill the golem?
Well, I would like to. She's gonna call down the lightning, and after it hits kind of simultaneously, but not so she gets hit, use my bonus action Misty Step right up to it.
Okay.
And I want to step on its head and squish it.
As this thing is convulsing in the ground, Arashi steps forward and gets very close to this thing. And as she gets close to it, she brings one foot up, and there is a small hoot from up above as Archimedes drops the captain's hat upon her head, simultaneously as she brings the foot down and smashes this thing's skull in. The magic holding it together fades as it becomes a pile of dirt once more, and you are officially out of combat.
She's still stomping on its head.
What the hell, kid? We got it.
I just say, "Oh, Captain, my Captain," and give her a little nod.
Now, Takashi looks 2 times bigger than he normally does because, due to static cling, with the lightning bolt. You guys ever seen a Pomeranian before? Takashi's like, what the hell? He is the poofiest he has ever been in his entire life. Like, that fur is just, you almost can't see his eyes for how poofy.
She's still stomping on it.
Would you wait for me to get out of the way next time?
She doesn't hear you. She's tearing at it and like screaming.
The chat. He's so fluffy, I want to die.
Someone heal the guy.
I believe you mean the alchemist, friend.
I don't have healing.
Is he still on fire?
No, he's been put out. Give me a medicine check.
Well, I mean, I can heal if someone wants to friggin' calm me down because she's not going to run her own.
I will definitely grab Arashi and say, "Chill out." Go heal them.
It's 22 with medicine.
Carlin, he did. You don't see a, you don't see a, you don't feel a pulse. He's not breathing. He is an ex-alchemist.
Y'all, he's dead. Like hella dead. Like side of dead, dead drizzled on top, like a dead Sunday. Like he did.
Can I see if he has anything on him, like hopefully notes that he was taking and had hidden on
Well, I'm the
his
one that
person
dragged
somewhere
him
or something
out,
like
so
that?
I guess I'd be the one searching him.
Y'all start looting this poor dead alchemist. The minute Carlin says he's dead.
I will say Arashi is not going to let that happen. She's
I'm not looting. I'm looking to see if there's like notes from what, because he was looking into stuff for us. I'm trying to see if he's got any of that information on him still.
When Mannheim explains that, do you let him look through the body?
Can I do it?
You don't get to do anything. You hit me with lightning. You stay back and let us handle this. You sit in a corner and be good. Play with your owl.
Oh. It looks like this, but the storm is still above you guys, by the way. And as you say that, it starts crackling.
It's still up there for another.
Carlin steps away. Just like a couple steps, like
Angry.
Yeah, I think when that happens, we all sort of take a step away from the bugbear.
Yep.
Doc is holding his ground.
I just look at her and I say, "Good move with the captain's hat." And I walk towards the alchemist. It's the alchemist's store because he's dead. So I'm gonna go to the store.
Okay. We'll say this as Elog heads over to the store. Mannheim, do you let Arashi look through his person?
Yeah, I don't care who does it. I just want to see if he had information on him that we need.
Arashi, give me investigation.
Can I assist and give her advantage?
Well, hang on. The better question is, does Takashi let her do it?
Fine.
Cool, because she was like ready to square up. like little team.
As they're doing that, I'll be like, somebody heal me too.
Do you come back from the store to say that? Are you just yelling across the street? You're like, yo, I'm gonna go into this place, but when I come back, just a few points of healing.
Well, yes, I'm walking towards the store. I haven't really left the circumference yet, and I'll be like, somebody heal me too as I'm walking towards the damn store.
All right. Arashi, Mannheim is gonna help you. Take investigation at advantage, please, as you search through the alchemist belongings.
And I want to say she's doing this like she's crying like kind of like a little kid. And she's doing this very gently and very tenderly and very respectfully.
Sure.
And is just gonna reach over and use Hands of Healing on the bugbear for real quick.
Thanks, buddy.
Just like takes a
You're
few
a
steps,
good little
does it,
man.
and then like steps away so that the lightning comes down. It's gonna be 9 points. That's all I got.
Thank you.
It takes you a second. Like you touch the fur and then have to kind of sink into the fur in order to actually like touch the skin. So it's like you're there and then back out.
I got a 16.
16. Arashi, you find he's got a little bit of gold on him. He's got like 2 or 3 gold. With a 16, you find a piece of paper clutched in his hand. You have to like pull his hand back, and it looks to be like it was the last thing that he was writing on. And on the paper is a picture of what looks to be the fountain with a map, like a rudimentary map of the town, and then a tunnel going down from the fountain, a door, and then a tunnel leading from the door. Almost like he was mapping out a pathway, like he was doing research or something. Like it is just a map of the town, tunnel leading down from where the fountain is, and then a tunnel leading past that. Almost like there's a system of tunnels under the ground.
Does she tell me that before I get to the alchemist store?
You are having conversations where y'all are yelling across the square. So I would say like, yeah. You pick up a little bit, like she's got this map as you get close to the store. Arashi, you also find a glass vial filled with a white. It looks like there's nothing in it, but there's little spots of white powder that were once inside of the vial.
Okay. Is he wearing anything that is like a necklace or a ring or a bracelet or anything that was just like a personal piece of jewelry or like his glasses? Does he have his glasses with him?
He has his glasses with him.
She's gonna take his glasses and very tenderly, like very carefully put them in a little bag at her hip.
Sure.
I'd like to investigate the vial. Is there anything I can tell about the powder? Is there anything I can roll to see if I know anything about what may have been inside?
Do you have proficiency in alchemist tools or alchemy? Is that one of your tool proficiencies?
I do.
He does.
You could hand that vial over.
Yeah, I would hand that vial over and say, "Hey, did you know anything about this? Can you tell anything?"
In a minute.
Investigation.
Oh, I'll give you guidance.
There you go.
I remembered I have that.
Take a D4.
Cool. That brings it to 16.
16. You take your pinky finger and dip it in. There's still the remnants left over from this little vial, and you just kind of smell it. You go through the whole process of trying to. It's with a 16. There's so many different things that it could be. What you are able to tell is your tongue goes numb. It's an analgesic. Whatever this powder was, it was fast acting. You don't know if this was of what it could be used for, but it was an analgesic of some sort.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna hand it back and be like, something.
Okay.
we still have the snare on the well.
You do.
Yeah.
Do we want to investigate the alchemist shop, or do we want to go down into the well?
Let me see if I can disarm it. Hold on.
Since she told us about the map, I stopped before I go to the shop and I turn back around and look at you guys and look at the well and look at you guys and just be like, what are we going to do?
We should probably go down the well.
That's my feeling. There's no water right now. It's already been activated. We don't know how long it lasts, or if we can activate it.
Can I disengage the snare?
You could very easily. You can deactivate it and have it set up so that it's not there anymore.
Okay. We need to bury him first before we do anything else.
I don't think we have time for that.
We're gonna have to bury him when we get back. Maybe we can
leave him here in the middle of the courtyard.
We don't really have a choice.
We will come back for him.
Can we at
We'll
least
make sure he's buried with him.
What if we put him in his shop?
Is there some place nearby that we can like set him down and make it look like he's sitting there, like Weekend at Bernie style? Like he's just chilling in the courtyard?
There are some nice benches that overlook the fountain.
See, I'm gonna do that and have him like leaned up against one of them. Like he's like there, but like leaned up against the wall. Does that make you feel more comfortable?
She's not happy with you.
He looks almost peaceful in this setting. You realize it's very late, and should you be able to finish what you were hoping to get finished, he should be there when you come out, and you will be able to do that. But he looks as if he has just fallen asleep while looking at the well.
See, he looks peaceful, and I think everyone will leave him alone.
She's gonna hiss at you and stomp off towards the well.
All right.
Very petty.
There are small footholds alongside the well. With enough time, you all find yourselves at the very bottom, standing before.
Before we go into this door, somebody heal me. And I look at Mannheim and I'll be like, next time you're the one attacking.
I did attack. I don't know if you noticed, but I flung some nice, powerful spells right at him.
And stay it away. All right.
I'm going to do this because you're going to need it. You make your way down to the bottom of the well, and as you climb the steep steps, you all take a second to catch your breath and reassess what is happening. You take a short rest. So what I'm going to do is we're going to end tonight's episode right here as you make your way into the lair, which is going to be a little mini dungeon crawl for next week. Okay, as you get to play with some traps and fun things like that. And we are going to conclude this little mini arc next week. But take a short rest in the interim. Roll hit dice if you'd like to roll hit dice. And any abilities of yours that replenish on a short rest, take that as well. Okay? Look over your abilities. You're going to need them. You're going to need to be a little clever to make it through some of these traps for next week. Okay?
Cool.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Well done, gang. That was insane. You guys did collectively against that golem before he had a chance to do anything. You had already done 87 points of damage before he moved.
Yeah.
Before he moved. That was nuts. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for everybody that hung out with us tonight and watched and donated bits and things of that sort. Arashi and Carlin, you also have your +5s from Legend Hillary. So those we'll carry those over till next game as well. Okay. So you can use those and you guys can tune in next time we play, and we'll conclude this arc of this little mini arc of the Archimedes 5. So we love you guys so much. Indigo Connect, and we'll see you guys soon on Indigo Chameleon. Bye, guys.
Bye, baby.